Wow, well, what a year it's been. The bar is raised yet again for e-mountain bikes. So much has happened, so much is happening in the world of e-mountain bikes at the moment. It seems Shimano are the new kings of the power stage. SRAM have launched their own version of AutoShift, and full power e-mountain bikes seem to be getting lighter and lighter. I've been fortunate enough to have ridden some amazing bikes in the past year, so I just want to take a moment to consider, because it's such an exciting time and so much to look forward to. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at some of the very best EMTBs of 2024. Now, I'm going to begin the video with the whole business of price, because obviously it's super important to so many people. This year, we featured the giant Trans Advanced Elite bike, which is low weight, full power. Obviously, the Trans Limited, which is a larger capacity battery. But I think it's this bike, the Stance E. Now, this is low price, long range. We've taken this bike into some amazing places in the northwest of Scotland to prove that actually you can do some big riding on 120, 140. Now, the interesting thing about the giant bikes is they actually come with two different motors. You've got the Sync Drive Pro motor on the Trans Advanced and Limited bikes, and on the Stance E, you've actually got the Sync Drive Sport motor. Now, I've actually done a head-to-head comparing the two motors on the hill, and this Sport motor, it is so smooth, it's so easy to use and understand, and actually it went a couple of seconds quicker than the Pro. Don't tell Giant that. Now, another brand that really did catch our eye was Bafang with the M510 and 610. You might have seen that I rode a friend's bike, which was a home build in the Forest of Dean, but it was that Vitas E Mythique, which we took to the Isle of Skye. 170mm travel, possibly some of the best suspension you'll have on any e-mountain bike. And it proved that you can actually take a long travel bike into some proper adventure environments. Bosch CX and CX Race Limited Edition motors. So many bikes with these motors on them. Also, some of the fastest people with these motors. Bear in mind that Florencia Espiniera and Fabian Burrell are now the first ever e-Enduro World Cup champions, and they both rode the CX Race Limited Edition motor. So many bikes though. You might have seen our man behind the camera setting a new world record on the white E160. I think it was 5,500 feet in 1 hour, the fastest ever climbing record. Obviously, other bikes in the white range. You've got the E180 as well, which is a 27.5 version of that bike. And again, white comes with two versions of the Bosch motor. So many others though. The Canyon Strive. I mean, the bike that Fabian Burrell just won the series on. 160, 170mm travel. Comes with a 750 watt-hour battery, or I think Fabian's on a 625 as well. A bike that's properly up for some nonsense, proper full-on enduro bike. I think the great thing about that bike as well is it actually is available as the underdog version at £5,000. What else we got? Trek Rail, 150, 160 again. 750 watt-hour battery with the new Bosch Smart System. Remember the Bosch Smart System, you've got a mini remote, which is on this Orbea, which I'll come on to in a minute. You can have the option of having the top tube mounted display. Trek Rail, yeah, again, you know, bikes you can get for £5,000 at the entry level up to £12,000. Depends on the spec you choose. This bike, on the other hand, is, as I mentioned, the reigning e-Enduro World Cup Champions bike. Well, it's not. It's a production version. 750 watt-hour battery. This time it's inline. It's integrated into the down tube. This is a CX Race Limited Edition motor. And this bike actually is around about 20 kilos, making it one of the lightest full-power e-mountain bikes on the market with that full-power battery. And remember, componentry that's actually made for purpose. This is proper enduro componentry because it's a 160mm travel bike. So yeah, there's a few examples, but we've got a few more. Actually, do you know what? I think it's reasonably accurate to say there are probably more MTBs with the Bosch CX and CX Race Limited Edition motor than any other on the market. And in addition to those bikes I've just mentioned, I think you've got the likes of Cannondale, Mondraker, Flyer, and also KTM. KTM have got a fantastic range of bikes with the CX race motor. This is the Machina Prowler Prestige, a proper full-on 180mm coil-driven flying machine. Now, two final bikes from Bosch, Scott's Patron. And when it comes to integration and stealthness, I mean, top of the game, right? Possibly one of the biggest pieces of news for 2023-24 is SRAM's new Eagle Powertrain, which features auto shift and also coast shift. 4 bikes sport the new system, the gas. Now, it's quite interesting that this bike has got the Brose motor. Remember, the Brose motor is but one component part of the system. What I like on some of the other gas bikes, you can see the side casing, which has got SRAM Brose on there. Just to introduce you to two of the other bikes just over here. We have the Propane here. As you can see, this features the T-type transmission, and you can only get access to auto shift and coast shift via that T-type. Now over here, thanks to the guys at SRAM for a very tasty double espresso, we've got the Transition Repeater, which was launched on October the 10th. Fantastic looking bike, and ridden by Yannick Pontal, the 2022 World Cup Series winner. And then the nuke-proof Megawatt Carbon, which actually was one of the lightest full-power e-mountain bikes in our weigh-in at E-World Cup a few weeks ago. I think one of the things to mention about having the Eagle powertrain on your bike is it allows for a very, very clean front of house on the bike. And everything is activated via the pod system up here. So not only can you manual shift, you can auto shift, you can coast shift, or should I say the bike auto shifts and coast shifts if you want to, and also you can do the fine tuning just up on the pods. It also controls the seat dropper and walk mode. Very clean, and remember that Brose motor, 90 newton meters of torque, and a variety of battery capacities on all these different bikes. So obviously a lot of interest in Gas's new ECC range. I don't know, is this the ECC 4, 5 or 6? I don't know what it has got. It's got the WP suspension, which has been done in collaboration with DVO. So, summary of this damping setup. Remember, it's a fork and shock combined. It's a base valve with new cone valve technology, which is being developed in motocross. Basically, the valve closes exponentially as the fork dives. So it actually gives you more damping to keep you more upright in the travel on the bike, so more balanced when you ride your bike. What I love about this bike is the fact you can actually see that SRAM Brose logo there. And I think the full red version, these guys obviously got their hands in their pockets. They're about to, they're still pondering, but I think you'll agree, possibly one of the best looking full power e-mountain bikes on the market. Let's know your thoughts, guys, of what bikes we've been showing you today. Right, let's get into it. Shimano. Now, the last few years has seen the development of the EP8 motor into EP801 with different power characteristics. You might have seen Yeti team rider Ryan Gilchrist climbing to the top of the e-Enduro Power Stage, taking Shimano from quite a lowly position to one where they can actually dominate because of the different characteristics of the motor. Along with the different power, you've got the likes of auto shift and free shift in combination with Di2, which we've seen over the past 12 months. When it comes to the bikes, some very cool bikes with Shimano power. Where should I start? I could start with YT Decoy. You can either have it in MX form or trail form, and it's great to see YT having a new 720 watt hour battery. On the subject of batteries, I think maybe one of the pioneers of the long-range battery was probably Norco. So you've got the Norco Sight and the Norco Range, 540, 720, 900 watt hour batteries. So similar, you could say, to, where is it? There you go, the Canyon Spectralon to my left here. I think one of the favorite e-mountain bikes I've ever ridden. And the reason for that, in as much as it's great to have auto shift and free shift and a long-range battery, I think to have a lively e-mountain bike. So the Spectralon 150, 160, fantastic bike. What else we got? Bulls have some great bikes, a wide range of price points. Merida E160, When it comes to lively bikes, engaging geometry, that's a banger as well. And maybe for something a bit different, I would go for the Rotefield E375 with a 375 watt-hour battery, making it a super lightweight bike, but at the same time full power. There's a couple of other bikes. Santa Cruz. Two of the Shimano EP801 bikes that I want to introduce you to. First of all is the Heckler 150, 160mm travel. Comes in two versions actually, either 29, 27.5 or the trail version, which is 29 front and rear. Over here we have possibly one of the favorite bikes I rode in 2023. It's not a full power e-mounted bike. It's the Santa Cruz Heckler SL with the Fazua Ride 60 system in it. So if you want to look at the low to mid power bikes, we've actually done a separate video, which I'll leave the link on down below. But when it comes to handling and appearance, I mean, Santa Cruz makes some stunning looking bikes. And one more bike, guys, to wrap the Shimano stuff up, is Santa Cruz's Bullet 170mm travel front and rear. And look at that colour. Whoa. With Decathlon Rock Rider bikes, now we've historically seen these bikes with Brose motors here at Rock d'Azur. Very exciting news that there's a new EP600 motor on these bikes. 630 watt-hour battery, 29-inch wheels, 160mm travel. These bikes start, this is the E-Field 700S, there's a 900 as well, but this one, the 700 version, starts at 4,399. Fantastic spec, fantastic motor, great range, boom. Really interesting year this year for Brose. Now they launched new 48 volt system in Eurobike, and it's quite interesting because you've now got their own motor on bikes. You've got SRAM, which have launched their own Eagle Powertrain system, which is powered by a Brose motor. And of course, the well-known fact that Specialized have been using Brose for, crikey, what is it now, 8 years. When it comes to bikes that have got Brose's own motor, I think one of the standout bikes is the Rotefield RE750 Pro, 750 watt-hour battery, super light and a stunning looking bike. Obviously, Bulls do a fantastic range of e-mounted bikes with the Brose motor at a lot of different price points. And of course, you've got Fantic, which have been sporting Bros for some years now. Now this is Joris Reef. He is the reigning e-mountain bike cross-country world champion, and this is his bike, the Specialized S-Works Levo. The Levo needs no introduction. It was one of the original bikes, and which kind of led the way pretty much in terms of the integration and the simplicity of the setup. Levo, 700 watt-hour battery, Brose motor, 90 newton meters, 150, 160mm travel. I mean, it's now in its third generation. It's a very well-established bike. And when it comes to riding character on the trail, that's equally something which is important of all full-power e-mountain bikes. And this is a 2024 production version of the Levo. I tried to get the colour off some of the guys here, and the reply was probably because they didn't know, but I'm sure you guys will agree it will fit perfectly in a Welsh bog. Okay, Polini EP3 Plus MX. Wow, that's what a motor's got, quite a bit of oomph to it. Now, a couple of bikes I want to talk about. First one is the Fulgur. Mr. Fulgur is actually behind the camera there. He's a shy character, but his bike is not shy. This bike is a full-on enduro bike, 170, 29, 27.5 wheels. As you can see, it's got full Italian suspension from Franco Fratton at EXT. I think a standout feature of this bike, if you're doing enduro racing, doing adventure racing, an 880 watt-hour battery. Also, they got a new display, by the way. The great thing about Polini is you can actually replace the parts on there yourself. It's super simple to take the motor apart. We've seen the guys at Berkshire Cycles in the UK. It's very easy to service the Polini motors. Another bike actually is the Beria from Spain. This time, again, 170. It's got the different integrated display on the top tube. And this bike has got a 720 watt-hour battery. So there you go, two beautiful looking bikes. One from Spain, one from Italy, both super fast, super powerful, and long-range batteries. Folks, I wanted to introduce you to the Rocky Mountain Altitude Power Play. This is Adrian from Avignon. with one of these bikes. I mean, it was one of the most powerful e-mounted bikes on the market 6 years ago. It still is today. It's a beautiful design. It is so much fun to ride. And as I mentioned, it's actually, when we did our hill climb challenge about a month ago, it is still top of the game by a considerable margin. I think it's 108 Newton meters. The integration on this bike, this is actually the older version. Check out the new version with the top tube display, which we rode recently. It's unique, it's fast, and it's, yeah, just get yourselves a ride on it. Let's ask Mr. Dangerhome. When it comes to e-mountain bikes, Shimano, Bosch, Yamaha, what would you go for?
Whatever color you fancy on the logo. No, but I mean, honestly, they all have their own benefits. And that's the beauty to me, is that, I mean, you have these different options. And I mean, it would be boring if there was just, you know, like an iPhone, it was only that one. Yeah. But since you can go with the different brands and different power outputs and everything, it's like, yeah, better for the customer.
Wow, totally off the cuff and random. Answer.
Yeah. Cheers.
How are you? You all right?
I'm good, thank you.
Shimano, Yamaha?
Oh, no. And the Decathlon handling the mark, it's a price mark.
And the motor?
Yeah, as such. No?
No, Zach's. That's funny, isn't it? I mean, that gentleman reminded me about the Zach's motor, which I've only ridden once, but one bike which I'd really like to ride is the Stork E-Adrenaline. Like I said, Zach's 112 Newton meters torque on that motor. The E-Adrenaline's got a large capacity battery, super neat features on it. So yeah, if I was thinking of one bike on my list for 2024 I'd like to ride, it'd definitely be that one. So many great bikes, but some we didn't get to see. Nevertheless, should be an integral part of anyone's wish list. Take the Thok range, high bike, Cube, and the Pole Voima with long travel and a stunning aluminium frame set. The Kelly's Theos range with some pioneering frame technology is a brand which you can have either Shimano or Panasonic power. Speaking of which, the Flyer Uprock, one of the best looking bikes on the market. Looking ahead, we see that some of the motor brands could be coming with new offerings, as we've seen with our partner brand Husqvarna, having already stepped things up with the amazing looking MC series. But also other brands too, Ducati with the Power Stage, and Yamaha's interesting new concept bikes.